All right, ready to dive in. This time we're getting smart. Seriously smart.
Smart.
We're tackling sales, but not just any sales. We're dissecting Michael Halper's The Smart Sales System.
Cutting through the noise
Yeah,
to close deals like a pro. I like it.
Exactly. No cheesy tactics here. Just real, actionable stuff you can use.
That's what got me hooked on Helper's book, you know? It's like he chucked those tired old sales scripts right out the window.
It's about time someone did, right?
Right. It's all about connecting with your prospects, for real. One thing that really struck me, people are drowning in sales pitches these days.
Oh, tell me about it. Just look at your inbox. How many generic sales emails get deleted without a second glance? It's overwhelming.
It's crazy, right? And Halper's point is, when we just hammer on about features instead of, really getting what the customer needs.
We're just adding to the noise. Exactly. Creating resistance even.
It's like that saying, people don't care what you know until they know that you care.
Empathy, right? That's key.
Exactly. You got to show them you understand their world, their problems, before you even think about solutions. A lot of those old school sales trainings miss that memo,
That they did. Pump you up about the product, sure. But practical strategies, not so much. That's what's so interesting about this smart system.
It's refreshing.
Totally. It's not about manipulating anyone. It's about being clear, being empathetic, and actually providing real value.
It's about building relationships, not just closing deals.
Okay, so let's unpack this acronym. What does SMART even stand for in this context?
So SMART stands for sales messaging and response tactics.
Sales messaging and response tactics. All right, so less pressure, more genuine connection.
You got it. It's like having a conversation, really. One where everyone learns something. And just like any good conversation, there are elements that make it work, make it flow.
And those are?
That's where product, target, value, pain, and questions come in. Each one crucial for this system to work.
Okay, I'm intrigued, especially by that product part. It's got to be more than just listing features, right?
You're catching on already. It's about going beyond the what and straight to the why. Helper challenges us to think about the benefits, tie those features directly to what the prospect needs.
Okay, so paint me a picture. Give me an example. How would that look?
Let's say you're selling software, right? CRM software. And one of its cool features is how it automates those follow-up emails.
Okay, useful, but kind of a mouthful.
Instead of just saying, hey, it automates emails, try this. Imagine saving hours every week. This software sends those follow-ups for you so you can focus on closing more deals. See the difference?
Okay, yeah. One's a feature, the other's a better life. It's about painting a picture.
Exactly. Outcomes, not just bullet points.
Yeah.
You're selling a solution. And speaking of targeting, that's our next element. You got to get specific with who you're talking to.
So, like, knowing the difference between a sales trainer and just any salesperson, that's a big deal.
Huge. In the book, Halper uses the example of selling sales training, which is kind of meta, but it proves the point. You wouldn't talk to a trainer the same way you'd talk to someone just starting out. You got to speak to their world.
So instead of saying, hey, our training helps you sell more, which is pretty vague,
Yeah.
you'd ask,
You could ask, how tough is it to get your team to really own the pitch? Or how much time does it take to get new reps confident and up to speed? You're hitting those pain points right away.
wow, that's a game changer. I can see how much more effective that would be. Okay, what about value? I'm seeing that Albert breaks it down further. Tangible and intangible improvements, right? Give me an example of each.
Let's stick with that sales training example. A tangible improvement might be something you can measure, like our system helps teams close 20% more deals. Bam, concrete results. But then you have intangible benefits. Those are more, emotional, personal. Like our training will boost your team's confidence, help them handle rejection better.
It's not just about the numbers. It's about how those numbers make you feel.
Yeah.
And that feeling, that confidence, that's huge.
You got it. Connecting with the human on the other side of the sale. That's the key. It's huge. And that brings us to pain, which, might sound a little intimidating.
Yeah, a little aggressive maybe.
Right. But remember, it's not about inflicting it. It's about acknowledging it, recognizing those challenges your prospect is dealing with every day.
Okay, so you figure out their pain points, then show them how your product's the answer. But how do you uncover those pain points without, getting all up in their business? That's where those questions come
Yeah,
in.
exactly. This is where you shift gears from I'm here to sell you something to a real, genuine conversation. And Halper's got some killer examples in the book, pain questions, he calls them. Questions designed to get to the heart of what's really bugging your prospect.
Okay, so like, instead of just asking a sales trainer, how's it going? Which is so generic.
Right, you could ask, How frustrating is it when your team just can't seem to nail that product value proposition during a pitch? Or what's the single biggest headache you deal with when you're trying to onboard new sales reps? See, you're speaking their language now.
You're showing them you get it. That's got to build some serious rapport.
It does. And here's where it gets really interesting. Halper uses this example, a health club membership, to show the difference between just pushing a product and really selling consultatively the smart way.
All right, hit me with this gym scenario.
So picture this. You walk into a gym, right, ready to make a change. And the salesperson, they immediately launch into this whole spiel about features. We've got treadmills, weights, a sauna, 2 pools. They're so focused on the stuff, they haven't even asked you what you're there for.
It's like they're reading off a script. They don't actually care why you walked in there.
Exactly. Now imagine a different vibe. You walk in, the salesperson, they greet you, warm smile, and they ask, "So, what brought you in today? What are you hoping to achieve?" They're starting with you, with understanding.
Are you training for a marathon, trying to lose weight, just need to unwind after work, all of that?
Yes. And as they listen, they start to pick up on those deeper motivations. Maybe you say, "Honestly, I'm just tired of feeling so blah all the time. I want more energy. I want to feel good about myself."
And that's when they connect the dots.
Exactly. Instead of rambling about treadmills, they say, "Our personal training program, that could be a game changer for you. We'll create a custom plan to boost your energy, help you feel amazing." They're not just selling a membership, they're selling a transformation.
A solution to those pain points, a way to reach those goals. That's powerful stuff.
It is, and it all comes back to understanding what truly motivates people, what drives those decisions. Think about it. The last time you made a big purchase, something you really thought about, was it because someone just wouldn't leave you alone until you said yes, or
was it because someone actually listened, like really got what you needed, and showed you the solution that just made sense?
There you go.
Yeah.
It's the difference between feeling sold to and feeling helped. And I know which one I'd rather experience.
Me too. So we've talked about pain points, understanding value, but what can people actually do with all this? How do you put the SMART system into practice?
One of the biggest things is be prepared. Don't just wing it. Before every call, every meeting, take a few minutes to think about who you're talking to, what you want to find out from them.
So research, targeted questions, all that good stuff.
Exactly. Those questions, they should be designed to uncover pain points, goals, where they're at right now. Like, let's say you're talking to a marketing manager, you're selling marketing automation software, right? You might ask, how much time do you spend on those repetitive marketing tasks? Or what's your biggest hurdle when it comes to reaching your ideal customer? You're leading with curiosity, not a sales pitch.
You're leading with their world. That makes so much sense.
Another thing Helper talks about, and this is huge, is having a customer example ready to go. A concise story that really shows your value.
Okay, so not just telling me, showing me. Tell me more about this example thing. How do you make it effective?
Helper actually gives you a structure for it, which is really helpful. Start by introducing the customer, what their pain point was, then you explain how your product came in and saved the day, and finally you hit them with the positive outcomes. Makes it real, relatable.
Stories stick with you. Way more than just a list of features, that's for sure.
Right, and here's one that might seem a little odd at first. The sales takeaway.
The takeaway. Okay, I'm listening. What is that, and why would you ever do that?
So it's about expressing doubt, especially if the prospect seems hesitant, like maybe your product isn't the perfect fit or now isn't the right time.
So instead of pushing harder, you back off a little.
Exactly. Sounds counterintuitive, but it can really make them think. You might say something like, based on what you've shared, I'm not sure if this is the right solution for you at this moment. It often makes them want to convince you otherwise.
It's like reverse psychology in a way.
Yeah.
Suddenly they're defending their position, maybe even trying to prove why they do need what you're selling.
Right. It opens up the conversation, gives you insights you wouldn't get otherwise. Plus, it shows you're not just in it for the quick sale. You genuinely want what's best for them.
That's huge. Builds trust. And that's ultimately what it's all about, right? Building those relationships, not just closing deals.
100%. It all goes back to consultative selling, understanding those needs, position yourself as that trusted advisor, not just another salesperson.
It's about being a partner, not just a vendor. That's got to feel more rewarding in the long run, too.
Absolutely. Everyone wins in that scenario.
And that's what I love about this smart sales system. It actually gives you the tools to make those win-win situations happen.
It really can change the game for anyone in sales, whether you've
Yeah.
been doing this for years or you're just starting out.
It's never too late to up your game.
Never too late to become a better, more effective salesperson,
Yeah.
more human even.
Love that. So as we wrap up this deep dive into smart selling, I want to leave everyone with a little something to think about.
Hit us with it.
Think about a time when you were really sold on something. And I mean really sold. You knew you were getting what you needed. What was it about that experience that sealed the deal for you? Was it a pushy salesperson who just wouldn't let up? Or
Or was it someone who really took the time to listen, to understand your needs, who presented a solution that felt tailor-made?
bingo, someone who felt more like a guide, less like someone trying to meet a quota? That's the power of this whole consultative approach, the smart way.
It's about building those real connections, the kind that last beyond a single transaction.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the smart sales system. Be sure to check out Michael Halper's book if you want even more insights and strategies, because there's a ton in there.
It's a gold mine for sure.
Remember, it's not just about closing those deals. It's about building relationships, solving problems, making a real impact. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep selling smart.
And keep diving deep.